Analyst Javed Rana is joining us now from the Pakistani capital to shed more light on the latest developments in the occupied Gaza Strip. Good to see you, Javed. Now, can you explain technically how did wireless devices known as pagers exploded, and how did Israel technically decodified security of wireless devices members of Hezbollah have been using for communications?
Well, it looks like a big kind of intelligence operation by Mossad, the Israeli infamous intelligence network. I think it seems that somehow or the other they managed to have precise intelligence about from where Hezbollah would buy these pagers, the wireless devices. I think that is where everything happened. Now we know for sure that Hezbollah banned the use of smartphone in early this year. In February this year, straight away it was banned. And then later on, these pages, the wireless devices, were imported from Europe. Now, there's a lot of controversy about Taiwan's company, Apollo Gold, that it has manufactured. The Apollo Gold has clarified that it has given rights to one of the European company, the name of which is probably BSC. So there appears that Israel deeply penetrated in manufacturing these devices. Israel knew in advance that Hezbollah would purchase these devices from that particular European company, and that is where everything happened. I think either its batteries were made explosive, and then certain codes were sent at the time of its own choice, and all those devices which were being in the pockets of the members of the Hezbollah, in their hands, they were exploded all of a sudden, and then we have seen these nearly 3,000 casualties, and more than 10 to 11 people have died. So that seems to be a bigger intelligence operation. But I think it also highlights a bigger collision, the collision of the West with Israel in actually silencing the voices of resistance against the genocidal war which Israel has imposed not only on Gaza but also in occupied West Bank, and also now in the parts of Lebanon, which is sovereign state. So I think in that context, it looks like that the West has been in collusion, has been a criminally partner in intelligence operations. On one hand, we have now lately seen under public pressure statements from the Western countries, including Germany, including France and many other countries, including even the US, that they are against this genocidal war, though they don't call it a genocidal war. But at the same time, they've been providing all kinds of weapons. They have been sharing all intelligence. And unethically, illegally, they've been colluding with the Israeli intelligence network, as a result of which we have seen this operation. And I think this is not going to end resistance from the Hezbollah. It appears that there's going to be more escalation in days to come. As we speak, Israel has pulled out a significant number of its troops from Gaza, and those have been redeployed in the occupied West Bank and the northern parts of occupied Palestine, which is called apartheid Israel. So it seems that Israel is now expanding the war theater. It is going to escalate because domestically speaking, that is going to be lifeline for the Prime Minister Netanyahu. And also, more importantly, this is a part and parcel of a greater Israel agenda. This genocidal war and the political conditions have served a great opportunity for Israel to expand its borders. And that is what we have seen now in West Bank. Around about 23 to 25 square kilometer area have been occupied. Israeli army is supporting the illegal settlers. They are expanding their illegal hold onto the Palestinian lands. We have seen more and more operations, more and more number of the killings of the people in the occupied West Bank. It seems, I think we are not going to see end of this war in any time soon.
Now, a large number of countries have been using IT products and weapons manufactured in Israel and West. What does it mean to the national security of those countries?
I think a large number of countries have been importing weapons, special weapons from the apartheid state. They've been using IT products. And you may recall that the Prime Minister Netanyahu has been projecting the IT products of Israel, and that has been one of the reason, a kind of a special offer to the Muslim countries who have not recognized Israel. And he was telling them behind the scene, if you normalize ties with Israel, we are going to give you kind of the technology which other countries don't have. Now, I think in case of Pakistan, many of the Israeli products are there within the Pakistani system. I may recall, I think a couple of years ago, probably 10 years ago, modems, which is used as a Wi-Fi device in the home settings. I think in some of the modems, there was Israeli coding in the firmware, and through which they were seeing, knowing, gathering a lot of intelligence. And this is the part of the problem, because even if some countries are not getting IT products, softwares directly from Israel, if they're getting from any Western destinations like the US and other European countries, other Western countries, that means that all those IT products, that means all those weapons and their accessories which are used to operate and trigger those weapons in the event of a war, I think they have become a kind of a bigger challenge for all those countries. It's a bigger challenge for their national security. After this successful operation by Mossad in Lebanon, I think every country needs to be now put its own house in order, particularly Arab countries who have been getting a lot of technology from Israel behind the scene, if not publicly. And even Pakistani intelligence network, they have imported many softwares with which they've been having some kind of intelligence operation to silence a political movement of the opposition parties. Now, all those softwares, all those technologies which have been directly imported from Israel, or it has been imported from the Western countries, that has become the biggest source of national security. It is a biggest challenge. And I really doubt that every country in the world has the sufficient expertise to detect these codings. Now, you may recall there has been a lot of controversy in the US about some of the applications, popular Chinese applications, and some of them are going to be, US intends to ban them because they think that Chinese have coded codings in the firmwares of those devices. You may recall in parts of Europe, Huawei, one of the Chinese company, its products were banned. And the reason being was, according to them, that China was spying on them. But what is not known to the world, that Israel and the West together has been spying onto every country. And I think this incident should open eyes of everybody in the world. Turkey has good relation in the past with the apartheid state, and I think there have been some kind of exchange of trade products. Turkey probably would be also looking into that what are those IT products which have been imported from the apartheid states, and I'm sure the Turkey would look into those IT products. And similarly, many other countries, I'm expecting that they would put their house in order. They would review everything that they have secretly or publicly imported from Israel. Millions of Pakistani internet users have lost their privacy to the British Secret Intelligence Service. The Britons used the hardware and software developed by the US network equipment giant Cisco in order to access Pakistan's main internet exchange point to be able to hack virtually every internet user in the country. Cisco provides network infrastructure to most countries, including Pakistan. The latest revelations were based on a cache of files from 2008 released by former US intelligence contractor Edward Snowden. The fresh disclosures were made public this week by The Intercept, which is an online news outlet.
The revelations that had been done by Snowden, that has really opened eyes for at least most of the people in Pakistan. And they are now trying to find ways to get rid of these software hardware from those companies. I mean, frankly, ourselves, we are very seriously thinking that whatever we are getting from US or UK, we cannot trust that.
Islamabad is reluctant to make a clear statement about the hacking scandal given the sensitive nature of its bilateral relation with Britain.
We have to first look into these reports and analyze them, and once we reach some conclusion, then we will respond to them.
There is enormous potential for the enemy or for the spying nation to get to anywhere, whatever they want. They could have reached a very sensitive office of Pakistani government. This is catastrophic. That should not have happened. For a country which possesses nuclear weapons, for a country which possesses so many intelligent and smart kids who are all over the world serving in information technology and software and telecom sector.
Digital Rights Organization, a non-profit organization that campaigns for online privacy, has pointed out that Pakistan has never witnessed as large-scale hacking operation as British Secret Intelligence Service has conducted in the country. Cybercrime experts say that Pakistan will have to develop its own technical infrastructure to produce softwares and hardwares so that it could counter hacking and spying by foreign powers. The growing tide of anti-Israel sentiments. What you see behind me is just tip of the iceberg of what is happening in the country. More than half of $52 billion black CIA budget is spent on espionage network in Pakistan. How would you handle it?
The US has looked upon Pakistan as an ally at one point and then as an enemy at the same time.
That is going to be the first legal reason on the basis of which he is going to be instantly ousted by the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Joining us live, Javed Rana, who's an expert on politics and geostrategic issues.
In the world politics, which is not being driven by any moral principle, it is being driven by the hard geostrategic realities. In a broader picture, more countries would aspire to have nuclear weapons.